disinfection is defined as the treatment of surfaces and equipment using physical or chemical means, such that the amount of microorganisms present is reduced to an acceptable level. How acceptable is that level? How do you know is that acceptable level? And to help us that discussion this morning, there's no other person who's leading disinfection, who's fighting the fight, who's making it work, in the person of Mr. Peter Atidiga Wilson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You're warmly welcome.
Thank you.
I got that Atidiga well.
Very well.
Okay. Now, first question. First off, how do you know that? How do you know that that is the acceptable level of what you're cleaning?
Okay. You see, the coronavirus is an emerging situation.
Okay.
So we didn't have much skills in doing it. However, we have organizations such as the Center for Disease Control and Protection, that is in the US. We have the EPA, we have the WHO, we have the Ghana Medical Association, Ghana Health Service. They have outlined simplified methods of doing it. So we just take those rules and take it commercial.
Okay.
Simplify means each surface has got the time that the virus can last on. Okay, there is one thing we call contact time. Contact time is how long the product you are using for the disinfection should last on the surface before you clean it.
Okay.
So basically, we use the chemical as instructed by these organizations.
Okay.
Then we add up the experience of the contact time. Then we use it to do the.
Oh, okay. Before I go to my other substantive questions, so with that, we even had a discussion before you came in. So how long does it take for one to know that, okay, what you have done, should it be 3 days, should it be 2 days, should it be 1 hour, should it be...
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You see the virus, when you have not disinfected it, from the present research that they have brought to us from the research labs, it does not last beyond 7 days on any surface. It lasts longer on cardboard, which is 5 days, but some it lasts 3 days. Now, if the place has been closed for more than the 7 days, the way you do the disinfection will be different from if the place has not been closed.
Okay.
So the virus has a time. So if you go to a place, for example, in the morning, we took the person from the house, and upon arriving at the hospital, we realized that it is coronavirus. Then within that same time, disinfection needs to be done.
Interesting. Wow. Now, tell us, what are the three things to do? Okay, what are the 3 things to do in protecting your home from pests? What are the 3 things we look at?
Okay. You know the problems of pests. I have demarcated them into 3 levels.
Okay.
We have the one that you can manage in your home. For example, you opened your drawer and you saw 1 cockroach.
Okay.
That one you can just use some.
Are they still there? I don't see cockroaches of late.
Oh, in my field, they are still there.
Okay.
Yes, they are still there.
Okay.
That is the field of mild problem. You can just use a spray insecticide to kill it.
Okay.
However, if you have something like a bed bug, that one you need a specialist who will be able to do it for you. So first one, if it is mild, you use the normal insecticide.
Okay.
Second step, if it is beyond your limit, then you consult a specialist.
Okay.
Now, after the specialist has done it again and it still comes, then you need to do another level of investigation. For example, if you have bed bugs in your house and you go through all these steps and still the bed bugs are coming, it may be that you have been carrying them from maybe workplace regularly, or you live in a compound house, the next door neighbor has bed bugs in the room, but the children come to watch TV in your room. So after all these things have been done, then you now have to do a top-up investigation as to how it can be done. So basically, number 1 in your home, cleanliness. When you keep your place clean, your storeroom, things are well arranged, you have a lower risk of attracting pests, because pests such as wall geckos, they like to dwell in concrete debris. after construction debris, the wawa boards, they like to dwell in the, so if you have these things in your house, you are attracting them. That's where they breed before they spread. And then secondly too, the mild ones, like I said, when you see them, you can use the insecticide. But when it gets to a certain level, don't try using the standard agrochem for your own home protection. No, that one is supposed to be handled by a professional.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Just quickly for my next question, how about these the ticks on dogs and stuff like that? Yeah.
The ticks, they are treated double way. You know, sometimes the reason for the ticks on the skin of the dogs can be that there is a disease in the dog, and that is the symptoms. Okay, so that one, after it has been treated in the veterinary, then you do the disinfection, fumigation on the skin using insecticide. We have types of insecticide. For example, acetamiprid is good when you are using it for dogs, because that is what a lab has approved that we can use for dogs.
Now, I mean, we know that coronavirus is surging again. It's really surging. And I mean, regulatory systems, governments are doing what they have to do. I mean, we're fumigating here and there, we're doing this here and there. But do you see the regulatory system in terms of government? How do you see the interventions? Good. I mean, you are a professional in there.
Yes. From a private businessman's point of view, the government did well at a certain point in time, but this second round, it looks like we need to have a round table so that we can find a very simplified way of handling this one. The good thing that I like about how government has handled this thing from a businessman's point of view was allowing the private sector to start producing some of the nose mask and protective equipment in Ghana here. You see the way Food and Drug Board was able to fast track the certification of the hand sanitizers. So in a short while, we were able to analyze and certify those hand sanitizers. So we are not depending on much exports. So these things, coupled with the Ministry of Health, how they are doing their quarantine and all those things, it is good. However, since the thing came as an emergency, we rushed with some of the solutions. Now that we understand it better, I am offering myself to the government of this country. I want to train 200 people who will in turn train 50.
Yeah, I'm going to come to that. So you've spoken about what you think about the interventions being made by government. Fine. Now, moving forward, what projects do you want to execute in support of what government is already doing?
Okay, I have one major project that I want to execute to support what government has been doing. When it started, I was going around homes doing some for free. Some I charge less, because when you go, you visit a person who has suffered from corona, you can't look at them and charge. I try to be bold when I remember some of the experiences people go through, so that I don't cry. It is a very serious thing. So what I want to do is that I am an asset to this nation. I have the experience, I have the skills. I want to disseminate these skills to 200 people in 2 weeks. It takes 2 weeks to have the required correct training, so that those 200 people will be equipped to train 50 each. If you put it total, even though I'm one person doing it small, we will be having 10,200.
Take that again. Take that again.
Okay. Yes. I want to train 200 people.
200
in 2 weeks. Equip them with all the professional skills. After the training, there will be a continuous professional development, which means when they go on the field and they encounter any problem, they can refer for more experience and exposure. Then these 200 people will now end up training 50 each. So at the end of the whole calculation, we have 10,200 people. Now these people are supposed to be located in the localities. So if Auntie Abu, who sells gari and beans, wants to disinfect the house, Brother Alex is known as the one government has trained in 2 blocks away. Then you call on the person. So if
that's a good one.
Yeah, so if
because I think we're even looking at the fact that it's not anything that central government has to do. I mean, communities and things should own it.
Yes.
You know, I think I like that.
Yes, because it doesn't cost millions for me to treat 200 people.
Really?
I am a national asset. If somebody,
I mean, I think you're sharing it's a pest doctor. Interesting.
Yes,
Interesting.
Yes.
Now, what is this? Before we go on, you have this. You can put it here.
Okay.
Yes.
This is a mist blower.
Okay.
Now we have a lot of mist blowers used for disinfection, but
does this also come to play during your training?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But this one is the common and the normal one that the average person can use.
Yeah, go ahead.
To do his own disinfection. It is not expensive. It is easy to use, easy to manage.
Okay.
Available all around.
How does it work? Where do you put what? What do you put what?
Okay.
What do you mix into what? And how do you spray and all that?
This is the knob, but it has other parts inside.
Okay.
So you just fix them, then you tune the knob to mist.
Okay.
So you use the mist part to do the disinfection.
Okay.
But if you are doing fumigation, you change from mist to another type suitable for the problem you are solving at the time.
Okay.
Okay,
so as I can buy, an individual can buy this and use at home.
And use at home.
Okay. Okay.
And use at home. However, this one is geared toward the commercial type.
Sure.
For example, if you are doing your home, like it's a 1-bedroom house, this one will look like it's too big for that one. But if it's 5-bedroom upwards, a hall, a church, then you can use this one. Is more of a commercial.
Okay. Peter, you're so professional. You've done so many things. Can you tell us? Let us in some of your experiences so far.
Okay.
What have you done for private? What have you done for public? What have you done? What are some of your experiences?
Okay. During the lockdown, I was called by one of the hospitals in Tema.
Okay.
When I came, the whole hospital had been locked down, and 6 doctors were waiting for me from Kumasi to come to do disinfection.
Okay.
Now, that was where I got the idea of how dangerous the disease is. So immediately I erased the commercial mentality.
Okay.
By the grace of God, my father has been a pastor for 56 years. Okay. So I decided to fumigate any church that does not have money to pay. So I got 9 churches. The remaining 4, I traveled to the premises and they said that a member has offered to do it. So in reality, I offered my services to 14 churches, but I got 9. The Ewutu prison camp, we went there, we did disinfection and even some donations, just that you cannot show photos of prison in public. We would have shown some of these photos. I have done that, and anyone who calls me for help, I do my best to make sure that the disease aspect is corrected first before any money matter. It is not, if you go to a person and you need to do the disinfection, he doesn't have money, you cannot say because he doesn't want, you will leave to die. Now, talking about personal experience with a COVID patient. I went to an ashama to do for a patient who had been discharged from the hospital, but he has been told to keep reporting. Even the community alone, when they saw I was doing disinfection, it was like a great news, because the whole people see the COVID as some demonic something around the house. So apart from the personal effect that you suffer in sickness, the stigma too is too big. That is why I do my best not to scare people, but to make people know that once we are all Ghanaians and we are on board, we will be able to conquer this.
You're doing well. You're doing so well. I mean, so you have a team of how many of you do this? You're 6.
I don't use normal labor. I use only specialists.
Interesting.
It's not that, let's say you are going to do GBC. We need 20 people. Then I go and take 20 people. I say, you do here, you do. No. Don't do that. All the 6 people are well.
So if it's to do like GBC, how many days will it take you?
With my 6 people, 1 day.
1 day?
Yes.
Everywhere?
Because I alone, 1 day, I can take Studio 2, Studio 1 and
wow,
that's like
interesting.
Another person. So when we finish, then we come together, then we do the compound.
Where do you get your funding from?
The business that I do, I charge, but the ones that I charge, they are the ones I use to do the philanthropy. That is why this is an opportunity for me to.
Because you don't really break even, do you?
No.
No. Right. Now, tell us about your disinfection certificate program you're embarking on.
Okay. The disinfection certificate program. Originally, I wanted people to come register, then I take them through like a course. However, we do not know when a lockdown may come. So if the course duration is 1 month and in the middle there is a lockdown, then we'll be hanging in the middle. So what I have decided to do is to stop the commercial part, appeal to the president of this nation and the vice president to come and support me so that I can train 200 people who end up training 50 each. Then we have 10,200 people in the local communities. This is not about district assembly. It's about the brother you know who has been licensed by government, who you can go to house and knock, black person, come. This is my problem. When we bring the WHO standards to the local level of understanding, you know, even the local women, they don't even believe some of these things. They don't even believe certain things about corona. But if we get people who are like them, who have the standard from the Ghana Medical Association, the EPA, the WHO, transmitting it to them in their own language, then together we'll be able to do. To train 200 people, if I appeal to the president of this nation, it is not any money. I'm not in for that. I have demonstrated my ability.
So I mean, this you're doing for society, it is very appropriate what you're doing. Now, so in your appeal, what exactly would you want from presidency, from governance, from those who matter?
Logistics to train 200 people.
So yours is about logistics.
To train 200 people. After training the 200 people, I will just add up to the team that the president has to monitor each one's training that they are doing, so that we make sure that what we want them to know is disseminated appropriately. So I will just monitor and give report direct.
You know that. So your terms of this, if you were to go on, what would be your terms of enrollment?
My terms of enrollment, I will want churches, one, to bring their reps, schools to bring their reps, groups where crowds normally do go, each one will bring their representatives. So let's say ICGC Christ Temple, they bring their rep. The rep is trained. When he goes, he trains people in ICGC, so that each ICGC church will have a trained, certified person. Now, even the schools, we need a standby disinfection officer in our schools.
That's a good point.
Yes, it has become part, like the way we need a security man compulsory in our house.
Peter, do you have any contact number, how people can get in touch with you?
Yes. And before I give out the contact number, I want somebody who is watching to talk to our president on my behalf. I am a national asset. I want to contribute my quota with all the experience to support, so that together we will be able to clear this COVID and feel free and do our normal business. So my number that I'm expecting the presidency to use to call me is 050 50 69078.
Say that again.
050 another 50 69078.
For the last time, take your time and say it.
050 50 69078.
But have you worked at Jubilee House? Have you been there? I mean, I'm sure if you go and book an appointment, they'll let you.
I will go there tomorrow.
Try that.
I will go there tomorrow.
Alright, Peter, your final words. We need to wrap up.
Okay, fellow Ghanaians, I'm very happy for this opportunity to talk to you. I just want you to know that COVID is not a joke. Let us all come together. Let's observe the protocols whilst the government also does its part. Together we will be able to eradicate it. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
All right, so like Peter Atiriga Wilson is doing, I want to say thank you for what you're doing and keep it up. And let's all come together and fight this fight. It's our fight. It's a Ghanaian fight, and we need to make sure this works out. Peter, all the best, and wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Right, so coming up next, we have another discussion. You don't want to miss it. Stay on.